Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I am Tosh Customs, and today we'll be looking at my custom Mezco Scarecrow figure. I really like this guy. Gotta start off, I really like him. I'm very proud of how he turned out. There's a lot of concepting that went into him, and I think he comes across as the perfect modernized, more kind of like semi-realistic version of Scarecrow while still keeping a lot of nods and references to his other interpretations, as well as keeping the same very creepy Scarecrow vibe that we have all come to know and love. So as we always do, we're going to look at accessories first. So we're going to take the main part of the figure, put him to the side, and I'm actually going to pop the head off and just take, we have his hat there, and he also has a removable noose. So I'm going to pop the head off, and I'll put the noose in the little review section as well. So to start off, we have his hat. This was a hat I found on eBay. It's made out of faux leather. At first I didn't like how it was kind of cut angled, but now that I repainted it, and now I really like it. It keeps I appreciate that it almost just looks a little too messy. He's Scarecrow, you know, he's kind of cobbled his stuff together in a lot of ways, and that's the idea of what a Scarecrow is. And so the flimsy looking hat really plays into the whole vibe, and I dig it. So that's the hat. The noose is sculpted, it's not fabric. I sculpted in that nice cross hatching, I guess maybe, of the rope itself. This fits around his neck, and it just kind of wings off to the side there. And so we get that noose part of Scarecrow, which shows up in some interpretations and some doesn't. But I felt like it was a, you know, kind of key thing to bring in there. So we got that, set that off to the side. He comes with a pistol. This is a Marvel Legends pistol, and I repainted it. I painted the slide black, and I painted the magazine black, and then I also weathered it with just a little bit of chrome silver in there, just to make it feel like it had been worn or used. And then the barrel, the inside of the barrel, I just painted a little bit of black so that we get some more depth to the whole feeling. And it fits his hand very well. I really like it. So put that off to the side. We come to his hands now. I noticed that a lot of depictions of Scarecrow don't actually give him human skin. He has like this kind of grayish tone to him, which adds to the unnaturalness of his look. So I wanted to make him look like he kind of painted himself, you know, because that's not a normal skin color. So I left the inside of his hands, you know, where his hands might be a little bit sweaty, or he might be using a little bit more. It's going to be flesh tone. But then he paints his nails black, because why not? And his skin has this sort of grayish color. You can still see the skin tone coming through it. And that just plays to the idea that he kind of, you know, wants to make himself look a little bit creepier to, you know, enhance the value of his fear toxin. And so that was his trigger hand, and then we have his open palm hand, and the same aesthetic idea running through it. So that's what we got there. So I popped the head off earlier to get the noose off, and the hat's off so that we can get a better look at the sculpt itself. And so this is the sculpt. This whole figure is based off the Mezco Netflix Punisher. And so this is one of the John Bernthal, Frank Castle heads. I shaved down the hair, and then what I did was I just took my Procreate putty, which is what I sculpt with, and I just made it a very thin layer, and I just dragged it over his whole face. And then after that, I cut out where the eyes were so that his original eyes could be seen under it, and then I also cut out where I wanted the mouth to be. After that, what I did was I textured the whole face, and that's why we get these nice little bumps. And you can see some of the texture come through all over the face, and it's very subtle, but when it's all painted, you can see the difference between the grays and the browns. And there's like 4 different tones of gray and brown in this guy. And that just helps add to the light and dark of the face, which is really cool. These gas masks I got from, I think it is Damn Toys, which is DAM, it's not a curse word, toys, but I got casts, I believe. I ordered them from China a while ago. So I just pulled the air ventilator masks off of the Spec Ops heads. So I put them on either side. The hair I sculpted, got a very straw-esque color to it, which I'm pretty happy with. And then for the stitching of the mouth, I had to roll out really thin strands of sculpt. And while this face mask was still soft, I actually lined the cross-hatching, and I took a needle and I pushed it in at the ends, and so you actually get that little hole where it's been sewn through, which is fun. And then obviously I sculpted all the wrinkles to make him look angry and all the cracks around his eyes. And in Sculpt and in the work in progress, it's really hard to tell that some of these things are there. But once you get the paint in and you have the lights and darks to bring out the different colors, obviously he's got this gloss black around the eyes that really gives it that deep shadow, so that the metallic yellow, that translucent yellow really sticks through. And obviously we made a stop for his mask because this is a mask. Then we put the hat on, and that gives him his nice ominous shadow, and the eyes really come through there, which is awesome, and which was the entire point. So I'm going to put the noose back on there, and we just put it up there like so it kind of doesn't fall off. And then we take the figure and we just pop the head back down, and there we go. We have Scarecrow now in all of his creepiness. Once again, off the Netflix Punisher Mezco body. We'll start from the top. We've seen the head. The vest has been repainted all around. It's been redone. We removed the knife. We removed the pistol. We replaced it with the pouch. We did some dry brushing just to bring out the cracks and such, because otherwise it's just this flat black and you really can't appreciate all the little wrinkles in it. Then we come to the front. He's got his fear toxin vials, which are from Green Arrow, the Green Arrow Mezco figure. And so we turned his tubes, we turned them orange there. We have silver caps, and we have this little line of gunmetal in between the leather brown and the silver, and that just helps shadow the bottom of the cap while still keeping the metallic look. And honestly, for me, it's little details like that that make the figure really cool. We got some pouches here, and these are from the Marvel Select Lady Deadpool, so that's where we got those. Obviously, the chest has been repainted. It's slightly brown, slightly metallic, and so that just helps keep with the Scarecrow color scheme. We're going to come to we've seen how he paints his arm already, quote-unquote paints his arm, so that's what we're going to leave that alone. We've seen it. He's got his fist, his hand. He's got his black nail polish. Coming to this hand, this was a doozy. I had to roll up the sleeve, and this is all, this whole brace here is sculpted. We have actual metal wiring, both on the hand and on the gauntlet brace piece to get his fear toxin running through it. We have silver braces in here. We also have this textured sculpt that almost looks, it's like this punched in kind of pocky metal. And I imagine it's just like this mesh, and you can actually feel it too. Obviously you guys can't, but it's there. And then this hand is from the Mezco Freddy Krueger figure. I was lucky enough to find it parted off on eBay with some other Freddy Krueger hands that I have no use for, but I needed it so that he could get his little fear toxin syringe hand in there. And then these metal wires, actually, this was the crazy part. I had to bend them to the contour of the hand and get them all to line up so that they would look like they ran directly to the gauntlet, which was really, it took some time. It really, really took some time, but I finally got it all to line up and be the perfect length on the hand, to where the hand stops. And obviously I forgot the hand articulation is on the up and down right now, but obviously he still keeps all his articulation, rotates around perfectly. There's no hindrance to him in any way. So that's really cool. Coming down to his bottom half, if you're familiar with the Punisher figure, it's all black. I thinned, super thinned out brown acrylic paint, and I was able to recolor the pants into a brown, and there's two tones of brown. You have one darker that gives it that dirt look, and then he also has dry brushing, and that brings out some of the lighter tones within the pants. You can kind of see it along that seam too. He's got some lighter brown in there. He has a wrap around one knee, and that just adds to the whole mishmash kind of idea of Scarecrow. He's got this pistol holster from Marvel Legends, and then I brought in his Scarecrow fear mask from the Arkham Knight game, and it's kind of blinded. Maybe fear is blind, something symbolic in there. Who knows? I don't. I just like it. But once again, sort of a nod to some of his previous depictions. And then we come down to the boots. I didn't have to do anything special with the boots. I was good with the way it looked. The whole goal of this was to make a tactical, realistic-esque Punisher. And so the pistol just fits in there nicely. So yeah, and I think we're really, really successful with it overall. I'm very happy with how he turned out. He gives across the Scarecrow vibe, and I would love to see, Mezco make an actual version of the character. I don't know if they ever will. Probably not. He's a little bit on the, I don't know, maybe less appreciated side. Maybe. I don't know. But I'm definitely very, very happy with how he turned out. I think he really brings across the fear factor well. For a size comparison, I know I don't always do this, but I just wanted to compare it to some other Batman villains or DC villains that I've had recently. We have my custom Mezco Deadshot, who stands slightly taller than Scarecrow, but they're almost the same height. We'll just stand both of those guys there. And then we have my custom Mezco Joker, which is really just a head swap. This is a custom head sculpt that I painted, and I'm very happy with that. I got the paint. I feel like it's pretty close to the way Mezco paints theirs. And we got that yellowing in the teeth and stuff. But whatever, that's for a different day. But we got that. And Joker stands significantly taller. Even if I put him behind him, he still stands, significantly taller than the other guys. And so that's pretty cool. So we just get, I feel like that's probably like semi-realistic size comparison too, considering the heights of these characters in the comics. So yeah, that is my custom Mezco Scarecrow for you. He's a little bit shorter on accessories, but I think on details he knocks it out of the park. There's just a lot to him, and I feel like probably the best part of this is how much he kind of tributes to other characters. I went through a lot of concepting to make this guy, and I really, really like how he turned out. I think it's the perfect blend between comic and tactical and modern and realistic for what you would expect from someone who would actually be the Scarecrow. And so I really enjoyed making this figure, and I hope you guys really like it. If you did enjoy this video, if maybe you found some inspiration off of it, please give this video a like, and please give my channel a subscribe. I don't make any money off of YouTube. I do this really for the art and passion of it, so I appreciate any support you guys give me. I do have a Ko-fi link, which is Kofi, and I think the link is just Tosh Customs. If I don't have a link in my channel, I definitely have a link to it on my Instagram. And if you guys want to see all the work in progress for this figure and any of the other ones on my channel or any of the ones that I showed on this video, you can find all that type of stuff on my Instagram page. That's where I am most, and that's at Instagram at Tosh_customs. That's at Tosh_customs. So that's where I keep everything updated. So if you want to see me do stuff more often, that's where you guys want to be. So that's it for this review. Once again, thank you all for watching. I appreciate all your guys' support, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care.